Achi didn't slow his pace until they were nearing their destination. He turned to look back at Hitomi. It's only a little bit further now. Did you want to walk? I'll be alright. Ah, Achi, look out. Looking ahead again, Achi saw that they were bearing down on a young grade school girl, her head hung in dismay. Achi, I don't think we should kidnap her. I feel like the realistic choice is to just take a quick leap to one side. Achi took a quick leap to one side. He managed to avoid crashing into her by taking a tumble himself, but the girl was still definitely a bit shocked. Sorry about that, Achi said. Are you alright? But the girl didn't answer, or even meet Achi's eye. She just looked around as if in a daze. Was she waiting on someone, maybe? Odd kid, Achi thought. I hope she's okay. Once more, Achi and Hitomi set off running. Achi led Hitomi to an old, multi-tenant building. They hurried inside and headed up the stairs. Behind the reception window on the second floor sat the custodian sleeping on the job. This is Yukinori Kitajima. Or Kitajima. His main job is overseeing the monitoring room for the local surveillance cameras, but on the side he also works as a novelist and game scenario writer. He often sleeps on the job during his free time, but sometimes while he's asleep he gets his writing done. Just recently, a certain game was released set in Shibuya, but since he wrote the scenario and emailed it to the game company while he was asleep, he didn't know about it until just the other day. I wonder if this is actually named after like a person who was involved in writing this game. I wouldn't be surprised. Hey, wake up, man. Achi gave the window a tap, and the man woke with a start. Huh? Achichi, don't scare me like that. That's one chi too many. And wow, you sure seem to have a lot of free time on your hands. Yeah, no one's been by to check today. But that's not so bad, right? I mean, I guess it is the surveillance room, but still. The man let out a big yawn. Okay, so if nobody's been by to check, then that means that the surveillance cameras that the police is using, or the police are using, are not the same ones that the Endos are using. So, I feel like Endo might actually be completely unrelated to all of this. The man let out a big yawn. My dad asked me to come down here and check on the security monitors, actually, Achi said. Sorry to bother you when you're busy, Hitomi added with a polite bow. Huh? Who are you? You with Achichi? I'm Hitomi Osawa. It's nice to meet you. Oh ho ho. What, you Achichi's girlfriend? Again, too many cheese there, and that's none of your business. Just let me have the key. Hoping his blush wasn't too obvious, Achi mimed unlocking a door. You won't answer a simple question, and you want me to hand over the key. Yes, I'm his girlfriend, Hitomi said. We've just started dating. So I'm sure I'll be seeing more of you, sir. She flashed a winning smile. Oh, well, what a surprise. Never thought Achichi could land a fine lady like yourself. The surprised custodian held out the key. Good for you, Achichi. Still one chi too many there. But, yeah, dating. Achi gazed into Hitomi's face, even more surprised than the custodian. The key dangled, swaying to and fro like a pendulum between Achi and the man behind the counter. Achi, Hitomi said, nudging him in the side with her elbow. Come on. Oh, right. Snapping out of it, Achi took the key and headed up to the next floor. I'm sorry, Hitomi said as they entered the monitoring room. For just saying we were dating like that, I mean. It was a pretty clumsy lie. And here's like, oh, yeah, lie. No, it was just kinda sudden is all. I was just a bit, jittery, I guess. Achi felt his cheeks color again. I mean, I figured I had to say something or he wasn't going to cooperate, Hitomi said. She looked a little embarrassed herself. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make things weird. No, Achi said. No, it wasn't weird at all. Actually, it was kinda... He stopped himself there. Now wasn't the time for that sort of conversation. They needed to find that blue minivan. The surveillance camera monitoring room was really just a big office with a single computer. Achi knew it well. So, this is the monitoring system, he explained. He switched on the computer. You can see all the downtown Shibuya from this one computer. Hitomi gazed impatiently at the monitor, even though it wasn't showing anything yet. The look of sheer determination on her face held Achi enthralled. You talk about how attractive your sister is, Achi murmured. But as far as I'm concerned, right now, you're the lovely one, Hitomi. Hitomi looked at him, uncertain. I mean, look at the lengths you're going to... Or, the lengths you're going to and the risks you're taking to save your sister, Achi said. I can't bear the thought that something might happen to her. And the last time we were together I said such horrible things. Plenty of people do bad things without even realizing they're bad, never mind trying to fix it. I'm just doing what I think is right. Yeah, but these days, most people don't do the right thing. Heck, if they did, Shibuya wouldn't be covered in trash like it is. Me, I appreciate it when someone really cares about the things that are important. Doing the right thing is a matter of course. That's very attractive. Achi blushed as he said it, and Hitomi shyly looked away. Ah, I think the system is ready. Turning to the computer, Achi hastily changed the subject. This thing's so simple, even I know how to use it. Clicking on the mouse, he brought up a row of 4 windows on the monitor. Each window showed a different view of the Shibuya cityscape. Okay, I don't see any blue vans there. The image's quality not great, but... Or the image quality's not great, but that's because it's being updated on a 2-second delay, I guess. Achi tapped on the keyboard, bringing up shots of different locations. He clicked on one of them in order to enlarge the image. Maybe we really can find that minivan with this. Hitomi was practically glued to the screen. My dad's the one who designed this security system. Your dad must be pretty amazing. Well, he graduated top of his class at Tokyo Denko University. A prestigious national university founded over a century ago. Applicants who placed highly on the entrance exam can receive a full scholarship. I think this is actually a reference to a place called Tokyo Denki University, I think. I'm like 40% sure of that, but I don't know that for sure. Achi's father was one such attendee. The school has supported extensive research into artificial intelligence and recently announced an AI program known as Body. While the computer is asleep, different personalities emerge, which have an impact on various normal thought processes, forming a network of more human-like thought patterns as a result. He always said he could have a career in computer engineering, but he took over the electronics shop so that he could marry my mother instead. Oh, that's such a sweet story. Do they run the store together then? Achi shook his head. No, my mother died when I was 4. Oh, I'm sorry. Hitomi sounded even sadder than Achi. Well, anyway, never mind that. Here, look. The seedy-looking weirdo they'd run into at Jigo was on the screen. Huh? That guy again. Is that Minorikawa behind him? Said weirdo was running all out, a laptop computer under one arm. He was being chased by a man in a long coat. That guy sure gets chased around a lot, huh? Achi said. When the weirdo slipped out of view, Achi switched to another camera. The new view showed the weirdo running again. I feel like we might have to stop Minorikawa from chasing him in order to get Achi to look at something else in these cameras. I don't know. By hopping from camera to camera, they could track him wherever he went. So long as we have these cameras, Achi said, this guy has nowhere to run. Nowhere to run, huh? The moment he said those words, they struck an odd chord in his mind. He remembered their repeated run-ins with the man with the cane, how the assassin had seemed always to know where to find them. Achi, please, Hitomi urged. Stop messing around and let's look for the minivan. Sorry, there's just something I'm curious about. Achi continued to track the seedy-looking man. Right, my bad. Let's try this. I feel like we should trust his hunch here. Sorry, there's just something I'm curious about. Achi continued to track the seedy-looking man. The weirdo rushed into a knick-knack shop on Center Guy. Soon after, the man with the coat appeared and followed him into the shop. Aha! Looks like he snatched that guy's computer. Oh, that's why. Still, they remained glued to the monitor. Oh, that's me. Hitomi took out her cell phone. It's an email from Mr. Tanaka. Ah, okay. Yeah, it was about time for my mood to take a dip, Achi thought. What? Hitomi blurted. She looked up from her phone. Achi, Mr. Tanaka found the minivan. Oh god, this is not gonna go well. He what? What does he say? Read it to me. Okay. I ran after it, but wound up losing sight of it. He was heading toward Jinnan. That's what he says. What about your sister? Okay, so we could switch to Maria here, but we actually can't because, I don't know why we can't. I guess because we haven't gotten that far yet. We need to go a bit further with her. Was she inside? He doesn't say. Achi switched over to an array of surveillance cameras near Jinnan. The few seconds the transition took felt agonizingly slow. Finally, 4 new images popped up. Achi quickly enlarged one of them. Ah! Hitomi let out a tiny gasp. There on the monitor was the blue minivan. There was no doubt about it. Achi and Hitomi rushed from the building, speeding toward Jinan in an all-out run. Run, Achi! Run, Hitomi! Run, other guy who was looking for Miku! Who's this? That would be Minorikawa, who we also cannot jump to right now because we're not far enough with him. Yeah. But it seems like whatever we did cleared up Maria's bad end, which I think... I guess... I can't remember, actually. I feel like we hit a bad end with her, and then I guess now that we did something as Achi, maybe we did something different with the little girl there that caused her bad end to clear up. Or it could just be that I haven't gone to see what's up with her yet. I don't know. We'll see. But, yeah, let's continue. Neither spoke. They simply dashed along in silence. Achi felt as if they'd been running a marathon, and the finish line had finally come into view. They hooked a left at the station and darted past the Seibu department store. Aha! Achi pointed as he came to a stop. The blue minivan was still there, parked by the curb along the slight hilly incline. Leaving Achi behind, Hitomi started rushing up the hill. Alarm bells started going off in Achi's mind. Someone from the kidnapping crew was in that van. It was dangerous to approach carelessly. Let's try stay back, don't get too close, because if we say her name, Hitomi wait, then that might get their attention. Stay back, don't get too close, Achi shouted. But she didn't appear to hear his cries. A hope of rescuing her sister had driven all else from her mind. Achi started to run after her. Hitomi had reached the vehicle already. She brought her face close to one of its windows, but the tinted glass obscured the view inside. Hitomi circled around to the minivan's other side. Achi saw her grasping at the door. She slipped out of his view for just a moment. Oh, nice and... Whoa. Well, that's gonna be a bad end. There was a thunderous explosion, and a gout of flame tore the roof off the minivan like it was made of aluminum foil. Hitomi! Horrified, Achi charged through roiling smoke, searching for Hitomi. He saw two figures sprawled on the street, several meters from the van. Hitomi and Kanan. Hitomi, wake up! Achi cradled her in his arms, and her eyes drifted open faintly. Are you okay? Are you hurt? Actually, come to think of it, wasn't that... I feel like that might have actually been the van that exploded in the intro. I feel like that was actually... there was somebody in there. I'm trying to remember what happened in that intro, and they looked at the window, they saw Hitomi, and then the van exploded. So that might actually be... We're now caught up with the intro. Hitomi didn't appear to understand him. Her only response was a blank, dazed look. There was a small patch of red on her face. Achi wiped it gently away with a finger. He saw no further signs of bleeding. She may have been splattered by someone else's blood then. No, it looks like they stuck a needle in her. As far as he could tell, she hadn't been gravely injured. Achi let out a sigh of relief. Hitomi, is she alright? Kanan stirred on the ground. Her clothes were scorched in places, and she was bleeding from her head. Kanan, did you save her? Is she alright? Yeah. What about her sister? Kanan didn't respond. No, can't be. Achi went to look inside the van. Amidst the smoke and the flames, he could make out the outline of a body. It's not her, though. It's somebody else. Some guy who we don't know. What happened here? Achi had to look away. Get Hitomi out of here. Hurry. If those guys show back up... Kanan's face twisted up with pain. Alright. Achi settled Hitomi carefully in his arms. Wait, I need to tell you something. Kanan's pained gasp called him back. Alfred. Huh? Alfred? That's the name of the mastermind. I'm sure it'll come up again if you keep pursuing this. So that's A. That's the person who emailed Kenji. But if you value your life, don't get involved with Alfred any further. Now go. Okay, and thanks. With Hitomi in his arms, Achi hurried from the scene. He wasn't sure where he was heading. He just wanted to get away, wherever that meant. He carried her past the crowd of onlookers that had swiftly begun to assemble. The flames of the burning van rose ever higher, roaring up toward the heavens. That's a to be continued, but I feel like that might actually be a bad end. Because I feel like there's gotta be an ending where we can save whoever was in that van, right? I don't know. I feel like I might want to try and mess around with different results there, just to see what happens. For example, let's try this right here. Right, my bad. Ozzy switched over to a different camera. He continued switching views, scanning the streets of Shibuya, but there was no sign of a blue minivan anywhere. Still, they remained glued to the monitor. Okay, that didn't have a huge impact on anything. I don't know. I guess we should keep watching. Or, yeah, I think we should actually keep our old choice there, then. Okay, so we'll keep that. And then, what have we got here? What if we were to call out her name? Would that make any difference? Hey, Tomi, wait! Achi shouted, but she didn't appear to hear his cries. Does that change anything? The hope of rescuing her sister had driven all else from her mind. And that changes nothing. Alright. So, let's see. I guess now that we have Maria back, we can go back to her until we hit something with her, so let's check that out. When I arrive at the alley, though, there's nobody there. And we've seen all this. What am I supposed to do? I hang my head at a total loss. The necklace around my neck always sways idly to and fro. Okay, so now we hit a keep out, which we can jump to from over here. Yeah, it is this one. Eventually, I muster up the energy to start walking around town, heading nowhere in particular. The billboard outside of a department store displays a poster of some female musician. She must be pretty popular because lots of passers-by stop to take a good look. I catch sight of little Hana in front of the billboard. She's showing something to a woman there. Some colorful sheets of paper. The woman looks a lot like the musician in the poster. Moreover, I have the feeling I've seen her someplace before. Where could I have seen her? Man, having amnesia is really a pain in the ass. I have no way of knowing whether I've forgotten something or had no memory of it in the first place. The woman looks through the papers Hana held out to her, nodding approvingly at each one, and I can hear her murmur with admiration. Hana! I wave as I scamper on over to her. As I do, the woman abruptly hurries off. Hey, we meet again, I say. Hana just gives me a bored look. Who was that just now? I ask. I don't know. Hana quickly gathers up her belongings and starts walking briskly away. Oh, hey, wait up, I call out. The girl ignores me. She's moving at a jog now, heading from Spanish Hill toward Koendori. Ah! She steps out onto Koendori. As she steps out onto Koendori, she trips and falls down hard. The contents of her bag spill out on the road. Oh, whoops. Catching up to her, I gather some of the fallen pages. What's this? There are poems written on the colored paper. Copies of a prose poem titled The False Monsoon. The poem delicately details the wavering emotions of an adolescent girl. Also, in a clever twist, if the text is read horizontally instead of vertically, it tells about a father's worries over his only daughter, who is now of marriable age. Hana's genius will soon be discovered by Aya Kamiki, and she will go on to become a popular songwriter. Wow. A look of embarrassment crosses Hana's face, and she snatches the pages out of my hands. Don't touch those. Those are for sale. For sale? I'm selling poems that I wrote. Oh wow, that's incredible. She looks surprised by the compliment. Incredible? My friends at school said they were dumb. Well, that's not true. I only saw a little just now, but I thought it was a really good poem. You're just saying that. I've been out here in Shibuya for weeks trying to sell these, but the only person who's bought one was that lady just now. Hana lets out a mournful sigh. Well, what are you out here selling poems for anyway? I thought maybe it'd help pay back our debts. Huh? Okay, that's not something I'd expect to hear from a little kid. My dad's in real deep, she continues. The topic makes me think of Mr. Yanagashita. Guess today's my day for meeting people mired in debt. And I'm only in elementary school, so I can't get a part-time job. Japan's Labor Standards Act prohibits the hiring of children under the age of 15. For certain jobs within the entertainment industry, however, employers can obtain permission from the Labor Standards Inspection Office for younger children to work. I assume that's probably referring to the fact that she is literally, probably technically considered an employee of this game, because they had to hire an actress here to play her as the character of Hana here, so I guess she had to get permission for that from her parents. I'm impressed. She's so brave. She's maybe a little hard to approach, but she is just a kid after all. She's so brave, I just want to give her a hug. Oh, Hana. I hear a strange wailing call from behind me. Startled, I turn around to see Mr. Toyama standing there, tears streaming from his eyes. Hana, I'm so sorry. I had no idea you were trying so hard to... I love that, like, awkward expression she has right now. She's like, should I even be here right now? Toyama rushes up to the girl. It's quite the emotional father-daughter reunion. Or at least that's how it looks until Hana slaps her father across the face with her bundle of papers. What was that for? Don't give me that. I'm sick of all this running around. She delivers several more well-placed smacks with her little craft project. Okay, Toyama says at last. I know you're upset, but I have to ask you for just one thing. Then we can see about getting through the day, yeah? Okay, but just one. I can't help but find this ornery interaction kind of charming. You two get along really well, don't you? I say. I guess that's probably pretty foreign to her. Yep, nope. Considering the personality of Kenji. The two give simultaneous, contradictory replies. Then Hana sullenly starts to walk off, with Toyama tottering after her. Such a weird little sight, I can't help but laugh. Well, later then. Uh-oh. I feel like every single character is gonna get that little FMV cutscene there. She almost looks like she's starting to remember. Further along Koendori, I come across a car on the roadside that's spectacularly aflame. A group of onlookers surrounds it in a confused uproar. It seems almost unreal, like I'm looking at a set for a TV show or something. I stand there, staring into the flames. Huh? What's that? I can see something. She's getting a little flashback, is she? The raging heat makes the air shimmer. The scent of dry sand fills my nose. A gust of searing wind tugs at my hair. Where am I? Decaying roads, decaying houses, a decaying city. And the people who live there. People who live. People who live. People who live. With someone by my side. Someone is with me, watching all of this. It's a girl. The person with me is a girl, slightly younger than me. She says something to me. Ana Izumi. Cat's Cradle. That's my voice now. Cat's Cradle. Whose voice was that? What's going on? Who am I talking to? Yeah, Cat's Cradle. I'm showing someone how to do a cat's cradle with string. But who? Who am I showing how to do a cat's cradle? Kanan. The word Kanan echoes in my head. Kanan. I utter the name aloud. The images floating through my mind are beginning to break up and vanish. But I feel like, for a brief moment at least, I'd caught hold of the edges of some of my lost memories. That's right, Kanan. As soon as I say it, I'm filled with a powerful sense of duty. There's something I'm responsible for, something I needed to do. And if I don't, this Kanan person is going to be in grave danger. Calm down. Just calm down. I'm pleading with myself now, fighting the impulse to take off running. If I did, where would I go? I have no idea where my destination or my goal even is. Please, please remember something. Please, please. I gaze out at the flames, practically praying now. Don't move. A voice hisses in my ear, and I feel something hard press against my back. I don't need to turn around to recognize whose voice it is. I thought you said you didn't have any business with... I did a little thinking, says the man with the cane, slowly. About how I might lure out Hitomi Osawa, see? I'm going to use you as bait. And there's our to be continued. So, next time we go try and do Minorikawa, I guess. And, I don't know, man. All these stories are kind of converging now, and, definitely it's really getting pretty intense, but still not quite sure how things are going to turn out here. Actually, Kano's still isn't finished either, so we could try and go back to Kano, but I'd prefer to go do Minorikawa. So that's what we're gonna do next time. So until then, take care, and I will see you then.